We're almost there. Let us continue.
I wonder if that was the last one.
We've come this far. We're not stopping now.
I've got 4 full clips ready to go. Let's do this.
I'm gonna shoot the fuck out of him. I'm gonna shoot Keith in the face. Just had to name him after me, huh? These thick glass doors lead into the world's version of the Empire State Building. Of course. Locked. Okay. You shoot it?
Huh. Looks tough, but pretty shoddy material. 5 or 6 shots ought to do it.
Please, do not waste your ammunition. My sword will make short work of this.
Suit yourself.
Teamwork. I kind of thought we would just shoot the glass.
A demon spawn, without a doubt.
Okay, you guys just keep coming, don't you? This is an eventful chapter. Mondana, keep working on that door.
I am doing just that.
It stalls. Demon spawn. What say you?
You said short work of it, Mondana. I feel like we should have just shot it with Vicky right about now. Can I still shoot it with Vicky? You're taking too long, Mondana. I'm not a demon. Well, not exactly.
It says it is not a demon. When it speaks, it lies, like all of its kind.
What the hell are you guys?
We encountered one not long before you joined us. Eli called it a ligamental.
Ligamental? Yeah, that fits.
A beacon was formed, leading the way to this world. We followed it.
The fact that I spared the ligamental, any chance he'll show up and ward them off, I wonder? Damn it, it was a summoning spell, wasn't it?
The beacon was formed. That's all we know. What are we waiting for? We are all starving. Attack!
How many of you are there?
You had to ask, didn't you?
Interesting. So if I had used my entire party up until now to solve every problem, then or solve them via adventure game logic, of course, and maybe even solve some of them without any cost to my party. If I had not summoned up until now, there probably wouldn't be ligamentals showing up. Because we established at the beginning of the game that a summoning spell can bring in ligamentals. My goodness. There's so many elements of this thing that are just so well crafted. There's so many, like... There's so many permutations of story elements. There's so many different things going on. There's... The first scene of the first thing that happened in the entire game was a Chekhov's gun waiting to be set off at the end of the entire game. It wasn't a throwaway isolated event, but something that's going to come back. I think every single chapter of the game in some way is coming back during this chapter of the game via its inclusion or absence. Hey, game designers in general, this is like an example of how a climax can be well done in a video game narrative, especially one where you interact with the narrative itself. This is really interestingly put together. Let's talk about this.
The time for talk is over.
Anytime now, Mondana.
Almost there. I am close.
How can you even know? Vicky, over to you.
My fucking pleasure.
Stop, please. There is no need for slaughter. Not this night.
That's exactly what I was hoping would happen, is that the one that we spared would come back here. He's not part of my list of summons, but he's also kind of a summon. Even that is coming up still. Alright. Alright. So this plays out really differently based on how you played the game up until now. I've talked about replay value being pretty decent throughout this game just because you can take different party members, but so much of this ending is probably super different. Hello again.
Yes, it has been a while. This one showed me mercy I did not deserve. That kindness should be repaid. Just this once.
You vouch for it?
Yes.
Then that will have to be sufficient.
They jump so high.
We owe each other nothing, Demon Spawn. You have been given a reprieve. I suggest you complete your business here as soon as possible.
At last. Let us proceed. I fail to see how I can be of...
You're still selected from earlier? Alright. Neat.
Melcarissa, you finally made it. You had to leave some of your friends behind, but you made it.
Did you really think we wouldn't come after you?
I couldn't be sure. I hoped you would. This is my world. You're only here because I want you here.
You're stalling.
Think about it. I lit up my stronghold like a Christmas tree. I literally told you where to go. It would have taken you years to find me, if you ever found me at all.
Don't get too cocky. The top of the Empire State Building ain't exactly subtle.
We're all New Yorkers here. How often do you go up to the Empire State Building?
Shut up already. What do you want?
I was wrong, Melcarissa. Wrong to leave you in the dark the way I did. We should have worked together. We should have been partners. I thought I could do it all on my own, but I can't. I need your help. The knowledge you contain. Merge with me again. Willingly this time. We'll be equals, and we can build this world together.
I cannot detect falsehoods from spirits, but this must be a trick. It has to be.
I'm all for second chances, but this takes it a bit far.
No, no way. No fucking way.
You killed people, Keith. I want nothing to do with you.
Who are you to judge me? I share your memories. I know everything you've done. You let that fire elemental go. You torched an entire homeless shelter. And General Zarug of the Merfolk, he slaughtered dozens of people. You barely gave him a slap on the wrist. You even let Galen of the North Woods go. And she killed your leader. You killed Robin Goodfellow, a high-ranking member of the Winter Court, sparking a war that will last centuries. And what about Stan Bates? He brainwashed people into killing themselves, including a little girl, and he's walking around free. Sometimes you showed mercy, sometimes you gleefully executed anyone who crossed your path. Lives were saved or snuffed out based on your whims. So don't get all self-righteous with me.
Yeah, it's definitely a bad faith interpretation of the events of the past, generally. Just generally not accurate at all. Those were all impossible situations, Keith, caused by you.
The only situation is the one you're looking at. I want to create another world. But this time, it's going to be done right. So help me, Melcarissa. Please.
Yeah, fuck this. Good people are dead because of you. I spent a year thinking I was going crazy.
But aren't you in a better place now, Vicky? You're making a real difference now. More than you'd ever make as a cop.
This isn't about me. It's about justice.
Look, you can't run from this. You killed people. And that's not even the worst of it. You didn't just take people's lives. You twisted their souls, made them into something nasty and dangerous.
You mean those idiots in the Bronx?
They were people.
You seek to justify your actions, to pretend all the chaos and destruction you wrought has meaning.
I can't think of anything more meaningful than the creation of a whole new world.
The void is full of worlds, many more pleasant than this.
Why am I even talking to you? This is between me and Melcarissa. The Peanut Gallery can shut up now.
What? That's not good. I'm wondering if I'm wondering if there's a moment, like a Saren moment. I wonder if you can get him to change his mind, but only if you get all 4 characters here. Like, what if all 4 characters all say something and then he, like, actually gives up? That'd be interesting. Huh. He's real full of shit, though. Like, next level full of shit. Like, he justifies his actions based on the idea of, like, but aren't you better off, Vicky? Look at you, you're making a difference in a way you could never do as a cop. She's making a difference stopping you. Everything she's ever done was about stopping you. You're encouraging her to stop you. Do you even follow your own logic paths? Like, if you even give in to the logic he's doing, which doesn't make it's a real bad faith interpretation of everything, basically. Like, it's real shitty everything. But like, his very argument still hinges on her, like, finding new worth in what she does now, and what she does now is stopping you, you idiot. It's such a bad argument. No wonder he gave up and just fucking picked up all his toys and went home by making them all go to sleep, because he doesn't even have a point. He's a real piece of shit. If you hurt them...
Relax, they're just asleep. I may not have much power now, but I can do that, at least. Besides, this is between you and me. So how about it? Will you merge with me willingly or not?
You're a complete lunatic. You're just a complete lunatic. What is your goal here? You want to become a god? Is that it?
I guess, if you have to put a label on it. I've always been good at playing roles, after all. Breathing life into things. I just want a place where I fit, where I don't have to pretend. And since it doesn't exist, I have to make it.
That's incredibly selfish. KK, can you force Keith to move on like any other ghost?
Any other ghost? I'm not dead. In case you weren't aware, my body is very much alive.
Is that where we're going? Do I have to jump off the Empire State Building? Is that the ending? What if I say no?
Oh, sure, you could say that. I can't stop you. But you can't exactly stop me either. That's my body, and I mean to have it back.
The world you created is awful. Why would you want to live here?
I admit it's not ideal. That's why I need your help. I absorbed a lot of knowledge from you, Melcarissa, but there's so much more I need to learn. That information is locked up inside your head. Well, my head.
You learned how to create this world from me.
Yes, Melcarissa. As long as you were in my head, I could learn anything. All I had to do was think, and the knowledge appeared in my brain as if it was there all along. It was like learning my lines without ever having to read the script. You told me about the Dryad trapped in the North Woods, the dragon in Chinatown, the Merfolk's War. But I can't access new information anymore. Not while we're separated. So, here we are.
If you have so much knowledge, how come I can't remember any of it?
Because you're a textbook, Melcarissa. You can't read yourself. That summoning spell you've been chanting, you only know it because you remember me casting it.
If you can take back this body so easily, why don't you?
Because I don't want to fight you anymore, Melcarissa. It makes the work take so much longer, and it's exhausting. Working together will be so much easier. Wouldn't you agree?
If we emerge, we'll stay in this world. We won't harm the mundane world ever again.
Well, sort of. I mean, the energy to create this place has to come from somewhere. I created several pools of energy in the mundane world. They worked beautifully, too. Until you cut them off. So before we do anything else, we'll need to make some more.
You want to go back and hurt more people?
Yes, but only temporarily. Just until we make this world self-sustaining. 5 to 10 years. Then I'll seal off the portal for good. We'll drift into the void and join the cosmos.
Jesus. He thinks this is reasonable. He thinks this is not an insane thing. Yeah, I just want to do what I did before, but like, you know, for like 5 to 10 times as much as all the problems that already happened in this game. Jesus. So if I agree, you'll let my friends go?
As a sign of good faith? Sure. If you merge willingly. If not, well, I might not know how to create life yet, but I am very good at ending it.
Can I have a moment to think about it?
Take all the time you want. I'm not going anywhere, and neither are you.
A small gap in the railing. Yep. If I say no, he'll kill my friends. But if I jump, it's too late. Then KK can send him send him beyond. Everyone else gets to go back. And this ends. Meanwhile, Melcaressa presumably goes back to where they came from. Because they're not even human to begin with. And whatever my character is, this Melcaressa human hybrid thing, that is a death. That's an entity that goes away. And Melcaressa, as it was and will be, is not the same thing as far as I can tell. But then he's actually dead, and yeah, and KK can take care of that, hopefully. It seems like the best option, honestly. I assume I can't summon anyone. Yep.
That's not gonna work here. Sorry.
What I thought. You're a real piece of shit, you know that?
What are you doing?
What does it look like?
Wait, just wait. This is crazy. Why would you do this?
I don't want to do this, but it's the only way.
No, it's not. You're in a human body. You'll die a human death. Is that what you really want, Melcaressa?
As long as it stops you, I can live with it.
You won't live at all. You're human now. You could become a ghost, a helpless, mewling ghost. And so would I. I won't let that happen. I can't let that happen.
There's one option, if you'll take it.
What? Tell me.
You can send me back to where I came from.
You mean... No, there has to be another way. All my knowledge, all the power that sustains this world, it comes from you. If you're gone...
Better make a decision, I'm losing my balance.
Fine, you win, Melcaressa. You're free. I release you. Go back to the darkness where you came from.
So he loses all the knowledge, all the power, so he can't do this again, right? He'll just be a normal asshole, which these guys should probably do something about. But it's not murdering him? Oh boy. Thank you, Keith. I would step away from that ledge before doing this part. Oh, good thing he fell forward.
What the? Jesus, my head.
Did we win?
Oh, it's you people.
What happened? I no longer sense Melcarissa's presence.
Melcarissa's gone. Now get out of my way.
Donnie, it's me. Have I got a caller for you?
And he goes down for the murders that he actually did commit secretly.
With no powers and no veil. He didn't have a chance. The evidence was overwhelming. The trial took weeks. The press had a field day. But in the end, The jury took 10 minutes. Multiple life sentences with no possibility of parole. Donnie's been on TV every day talking about the case. He's basically super cop now, and that's fine. The kid deserves it, and I get to lord it over him, which is what being a big sister is all about. They found Harrison's body eventually. It washed up in Red Hook. Based on the position and the angle of the bullet wound, her death was ruled a suicide. There were a lot of questions, but nobody seemed all that keen to find the answers.
So we finally got a computer, although Logan and KK use it to play their game most of the time. But it turns out Travis and Winnie Cook have a very active social media profile. They're back in Florida. They seem happy if the pictures are anything to go by. And speaking of pictures, they post lots of Elijah, sometimes a dozen every day. It hurts, being away from family. But this makes it better, somehow. I suppose I can live with that.
I went to a meeting in Chinatown not long ago. Decided to stop in at the Dragon Tree. Turns out it's a drugstore now, one of those national chain things. Kevin moved upstate, rented himself a place with the money he got from his lottery winnings. But 50 grand doesn't last as long as it used to. He's working as a short order cook at a local diner. From what I hear, he's made the joint pretty popular. Might be running the place before too long. I hope it works out for him.
A mania has gripped Brooklyn. A troupe of performers have remained on the Prospect Park bandshell for weeks, refusing to leave. Several groups of graffiti artists have been painting every wall available, becoming violent when asked to stop. Writers, playwrights, and creative types of all sorts have been arrested for causing civil unrest. They all have one thing in common. They belong to an art collective led by Stanley Bates. I went to confront him, but he is no longer living there. We shall find him and deal with him one day. As for Melcarissa, we do not know. It is tempting to use the summoning ritual, but to perform it requires a death. And that is a line we will not cross. And regardless, Melcarissa is free now. Taking away that freedom would be wrong. So we venture on. Enemies are defeated. Wrongs are righted. And the wall against the darkness holds for yet another day. That was an interesting one.
No kidding. They ate the radiator. Who eats a radiator?
Gremlins are the worst, huh?
All I know is Mitchell never let me borrow his car again.
Hey, you guys hungry? There's a new Thai place down that way.
Is it spicy?
Probably. Why?
Eli has trouble digesting spicy food.
Seriously? Beckett, I've seen you drink lava.
Believe it or not, lava isn't that spicy.
Ah, no.
I come across the void in search of conquest.
Stand down, creature. We will show no mercy.
What she said, just with more charbroiling.
Nice. I've got those new polymer copper bullets. Been meaning to test them out.
Guys, when you kill him, could you make sure there's no ghost left behind? I'm tired.
That's great. Dumb schlocky ending that perfectly just ties a little bow on it. Also, I like how he had like nothing to contribute to that ending. He's just like, can you make sure I don't have to do something, please? Hey, actor photos, but like at the resolution of the game. They look surprisingly similar, particularly Vicky. What? Wait, I didn't. Wait, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was Pro CD. All right, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was what was happening. That caught me by surprise. That's funny. There might have been an announcement at some point in the past. I actually might have crossed that information at some point in the past, and then had it like just kind of vanish eventually. Oh, somebody was busy. That's a lot of characters. Wait, who's the left one? That might have been somebody else's origin story. Yeah, there's a few people here that I'm not sure if I've ever met. All right, yeah, I did not know that someone, I didn't know that someone was in this game. Okay. Huh. This was neat. This is neat. In part, yeah, that was the one weak part of this game's, I think that's the one weak part of this game's voice acting was actually, wow, that's a lot of repeat voice actors. I think the one weak point in the entire game's voice acting was probably the dragon. Being female is not a problem. It's partly just the fact that there was like a weird amount of like, I'm gonna be hoarse and growly and whispery at the same time. Like there was something about the voice acting that was the same actor. That's funny. Pirate Mama and Mary Popsicle were the same voice actor. Okay. But yeah, something about weird, whispery, growly dragon wasn't quite working for me in a game that otherwise always had pretty good voice acting. Yeah, this is a good game. This might be one of my favorite adventure games so far, actually, because I'm a sucker for a well-constructed narrative with good characters, and especially ones where you can interact with the narrative and actually do different things and have the permutations all pay off in interesting ways. I like that all the decisions were kind of hard. Like, on a regular basis, the chapter would end with a choice that was like, I don't know. And then the ones that seemed easy would punish you for how you thought the decision was easy. I don't regret the dragon choice at all. But like, the easiest choice was probably to kill the ice guy when he continued to threaten after everything else. Like, I'll be back and I'll do even worse next time. Fuck you. I'm like, all right, well now you have to die. See, why you gotta do that? We were letting you go, you idiot. Oh look, Keith's gone. He subbed out of the title. Okay, so then originally there probably was just Mondana and Eli when I first launched the game the first time, because it seems to change based on your saves a little bit. Huh. But yeah, I like that a lot of the choices, they all came back in multiple times, including the very, very first choice. Like, how you deal with the ligamental can affect what happens later in the game, which I assume leads to Vicky having to shoot them all and then running out of ammo. Although I don't know what really what effect that necessarily actually has. Does she stay behind because I'm like, I guess I'm not any use without this gun or something? I don't know. Nobody stayed behind besides Eli, so I don't know what happens in the other permutations. It is a bit more fun to think about how much the game might change in different playthroughs than it might be to play the game again, because sometimes the reality of what does and doesn't change can be a little disappointing. I remember when I played Until Dawn the second time, and I was both impressed and dismayed because intentionally changing the results led to a few moments of like, wow, look what they did there, and a few other moments of, oh, that whole part where I thought something might happen and there might be a choice, it was actually totally on rails and nonsensical. Including a few frustrating moments where characters just can't die no matter what, or I'm like, oh, well that kills the stakes. But yeah, cool ending. Every time I made a choice, I was uncertain about what to do with it, and as it shows there at the end, the choice to let the artist keep going has clearly had negative consequences. Now we have like a Batman villain basically in one neighborhood of New York. Like that's the best I can describe it as being, is we have a Batman villain where there's like the usual thing where like there's a vague cult leader and someone's got to deal with that now. And it may have been a mistake to let him keep going, but at the same time, outright murdering him for one accident seemed rough. For similar reasons why it's not necessarily fair, like it wasn't necessarily fair to kill the fire elemental. Like nobody will claim the fire elemental was in the wrong for killing the homeless shelter, everyone in the homeless shelter, because he didn't, like, it was an accident. Like he was inflicted, powers were inflicted upon him and then they awoke, and that's not his fault. And that's kind of what happened with the artist, but you can tell what they were doing there. They were sliding the morality scale, because the artist was more aware of what he was doing than the fire elemental was, and he was less apologetic and more of a problem. And like they do that on purpose. They keep sliding the scale of how much each villain is aware of themselves and what they're doing, where the far opposite sliding scale is the ice fae, and how he clearly was a piece of shit. They see what your breaking point is, and they go around and they put all the characters all over the gradient so that you'll have a different reaction to each one, and they're testing you. And no matter what answer you do, there are upsides and downsides because of how the ending works and stuff like that. It's neat. This is a well put together thing. It's all pretty good, except that one part. That one part was stupid. You know the one. You know the one. The part where we first got oh, that was really stupid. Oh, that was so stupid. Oh my god. Yeah, the part where the part where we had our full party for the first time and went back to the first location, and every couple seconds they were swapping out between Vicky and Logan because they couldn't be in the party at the same time, because you have to take Logan, you have to take Eli or Montana. So Logan and Vicky are both required for that story to play out. So they kept swapping out over and over again, and it made no sense. Like, the whole party should have just been there. The whole party should have just been there. That's what should have happened. It made no sense to have you split them up. Like, I'd even recommend trying to change that scene if they can, because it was just so distractingly video gamey and contrived, and like everyone's like, oh, gotta swap out with each other again, because everyone's following this unspoken rule about how parties work in video games that isn't actually even explained in universe, really. It was just the narrative in the game fighting each other for one scene in a game that otherwise didn't really do that. Anyway, thanks for watching like always. This has been Unavowed. If you want to see more stuff like this, you can check out, I've played Shardlight and Primordia on this channel, which are both this group in one way or another. I don't think they're necessarily all listed as being the same developer on Steam or something, but I think they at least featured the same people on some. Well, Shardlight is Wadjet Eye. I think Primordia might have been listed as not Wadjet Eye, but it was still basically Wadjet Eye or featured people or something. I don't know. Stuff. I'm probably going to eventually go back and play some of their older games here and there, but I'll definitely play their future new games as they come out every other year, as I've done with Shardlight in this game, because they do good work. And this was an especially, this just sounds like it was hard to make. This game, this is an impressive thing. I'm happy we took time out of our day to do this. See you guys tomorrow when we play another puzzle and or adventure game. Have a nice day.